This
All
call is
righty.
being recorded.
Okay, good evening, everybody. This is Janice Hayes, Pro4 up in Atlanta, Georgia, Glenn and Janice. And thank you all for tuning in. And Barbara, thank you for constantly keeping your eyes on training. We all, as we recruit new distributors and as we get complacent in running our businesses, this is the tool belt, if you will, the nuts and bolts of how to do this business well. So thank you, Barbara, for your commitment to helping all of us continue to operate in the best way that we can. My assignment tonight, guys, is on the next step of our blueprint, which is databasing. But before I jump into that, let me give you about a 30-second for those of you who don't know Glenn and myself. We have been introduced to LifeVantage 2 years ago, the beginning of this month. Did not have a clue what we had in our hands, only knew that God had called us to this as an answer to a need that we had in our lives for a supplemental income to Glenn's retirement. And praise the Lord, that is exactly what it became when he was offered the opportunity to voluntarily be laid off from Lockheed this year. And we jumped at it because we had a plan B, but it's so much more than that, as all of you on this call know, because you made the decision to make LifeVantage and changing people's lives a huge part of your everyday life. So that leads me right into my subject for tonight, which is databasing. And why do we database, and what is the importance of it, et cetera. So the first thing that I want to talk about is really the introduction, if you will, or the entree into databasing, and that is, what is our mindset? Because databasing is indeed the lifeblood of our business, and we all know that without people to talk to, we can't share this business with anybody. But for so many people, this is the most intimidating part of the business. So I want to talk about real briefly mindset for a moment before I jump into the actual nuts and bolts of databasing. And I realize that for many, many people, we are intimidated by this thought that if I put this person's name down on this piece of paper, I'm going to have to talk to them, and I don't know that I want to do that. What are they going to say? What are they going to do? But there's another side of that. There's an opposite perspective. So instead of getting intimidated by a thought of what was the next step, what if we got excited about this thought? You know, I care about this person. I care about their family. I care about their friends. And I have an incredible gift to give them. I hope they'll open the gift. But you know what? It's not my decision. I'm a gift giver. Now, do you see the difference in the mindset there? Instead of being intimidated by what somebody's reaction is going to be to what we have to say to them, let's consider ourselves a Santa Claus of good health, if you will, a Santa Claus of financial freedom. And we have this unlimited supply of gifts that we can give to anybody and everybody that we come across. You are a gift giver. And your job with databasing is to figure out how many people you can potentially give this gift to. Doesn't matter if they're going to receive it or not. Doesn't matter whether they're going to open it or not. That doesn't matter. That's not your job. Your job is to give the gift. So let's consider ourselves gift givers that happen to have an infinite supply of gifts in our sack, if you will. And let's talk about who we want to give this gift to. So that's what our database is all about. So I have a couple of different tools I want to talk with you about. The first being the blueprint itself, because that's where we want folks to start out with, but we're going to talk about some other aspects of starting out too. But in the blueprint, we have a page on page 11, for those of you that have the new blueprint, that has just a blank sheet of 50 names, name, telephone number, and email address. So the concept here is write down the first 50 people that you can think of without judging, without thinking 30 seconds about it. Just what are the first 50 people that you can think of, and their names go down on that sheet. And then when you flip over to page 12, there's a memory jogger there. The memory jogger is just to help you think in different directions, business directions, friends, family, school, work, community, general. I mean, the general part is fun. It's just fun. It's like, who do you know that's the life of the party? Who do you know that's health conscious? Who do you know that keeps talking about wanting a promotion? Who do you know that just needs an extra couple $100 a month? How about ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends? That could be dangerous. But anyway, that's up to you. But that's all in your memory jogger in the blueprint itself. So that's tool number one. In the blueprint, the memory jogger that is contained there. The second memory jogger that we have is actually in the LV Move app. The very first lesson in the LV Move app gives us a document called the Contact List Memory Jogger. And this is, again, another easy way to just capture people, but without feeling compelled to come up with 300 names all at one time. So in the Contact List Memory Jogger, that's in LV Move, you have several sections, several categories. Each one has only 10 names, guys. This is not difficult. 10 friends, people you know very well, 10 family members, 10 people from work, coworkers, or people you know from current and past jobs. And guys, if your resume looks anything like my resume, you know people from all walks of life and all different states, because I only held a job for no more than 4 years at a time my entire professional career. Okay, little secret out there. Anyway, local people that you know from the coffee shop, the dry cleaners, the bank, the grocery. Professionals, your doctor, dentist, chiropractor, hobbies, school, associations and clubs, your church, temple, or synagogue, your neighbors. All of those only have 10 lines in there. So you only have to come up with 10 people per each one of those categories. But guess what? That's 100 people. And I'll bet everybody on this call can take that sheet of paper. Remember, you're not judging. You're not trying to determine whether or not they will be interested in hearing what you have to say. You're just capturing names. This is so important in databasing. We have got to prevent ourselves from prejudging and trying to determine if somebody's going to respond favorably to what we have to say, or, oh my goodness, what if they reject us? What if they say no? Well, guys, you're a gift giver. That's just their response to receiving a gift. And this is all in how we approach it. If we approach this as a gift giver, we don't approach this apologetically. We don't approach this with our shoulders rounded and our chin down and our eyes cast down and go, oh, I hope you'll just make 5 to 2 minutes maybe just to talk to me. You have a gift to give. And all you want to do is, with all these people whose names you're putting down there, they are potential recipients of your gift. So, number 3, this is the really exciting one that Barbara and Susie were just talking about. This is our new Launch 60 program. And if you have not understood, you do not understand, and you have not listened to Brandon and Fred Graves teach about this, please go to their Brandon's YouTube website, and you will find it there, Launch 60. It is a little over an hour long, but it is packed with information. So in the Launch 60, you can do this even before somebody's gotten their blueprint, folks. This is so awesome. But in the Launch 60, step 3 is creating a very fast database to invite people to that call that Susie just did, and you heard about her success. I'm so glad she had a minute or two to share that, because she set everything up for me to share this with you. So in step 3 of Launch 60, the first part is you make a list of 20 people that will support your business. You heard Susie say that. Hey, this is my first launch call. Would you support me in it? Would you just call in for 15 minutes? It would mean so much to me. All you got to do, guys, put 20 names down on the paper of people that would support you in your business. The second one, make lists of 20 people that you know that are business-minded. And these are folks that, because of your interaction with them, your exposure to them, you know that they would possibly be open to learning about a business opportunity. And then the last section is make a list of 20 people that you know that are health conscious. And we all, especially in today's society and environment, we are seeing people all around us who are making choices to take charge of their lives, take charge of their health, and that's all you're inviting them to. So that's 20, 20, and 20, 3 different categories, 60 people, and your goal is to eventually get those 60 people invited to a launch call. And again, you can go to the YouTube with Brandon and you can really learn about that. But as Barbara said, call your upline, call her, call Glenn and myself, anybody that you know that is going to help you understand this and to do your Launch 60. But look, we've got 60 more names on our list already, and that's just the third tool. The fourth tool that I want to share with you all actually comes from Eric Worre, and this came from his training program of how to recruit 20 people in 30 days. And he has a document, a PDF that I have, and if you can't access it, then all you have to do is contact me and I will send it to you. It's called the List Builder. The List Builder Memory Jogger is designed to help you build a list of people for your list, your candidate list. And a candidate is someone who might be a prospect for either the product or the opportunity. Doesn't matter. And we know that our company is poised for customers. We have the best customer opportunity that's out there, not to mention the best products, of course. So here's some of the things that Eric talks about. Do you have an address book that is separate from your phone? If so, get it. Write down all the contacts there. What other lists do you have? Wedding list, birthday party list, Christmas card list. Whatever list you have, write down all those contacts. Now, this is one that's probably going to be big for all of you. Social media, Facebook, Google+, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. Write down every friend or connection you have on social media. How about the people in networking groups? I just went to a new networking event on Wednesday evening, met 20 new women, but ironically enough, there was a gentleman there before the women all arrived, and he's going to become a preferred customer. You just don't know where you're going to meet people. Who do you know outside of 100 miles? And there's Eric's memory jogger goes about 6 pages, and it's just huge and detailed. If you can't come up with names as a result of that, then we've got to do some creative thinking with you and help you get over your fears of putting people's names down on a piece of paper. The other thing that is so very, very important is add to a day. You want to continue to add 2 people a day to your list every day. Now you think, oh, I can't do that. But I promise you, you can. Whether it's somebody like I just met that gentleman, shaking hands with him before the event started, people that you meet shopping. I know Stacy met somebody in Walmart. It's a pet food aisle. They were buying pet food, and she's in the process of exposing her and sharing information with her. Glenn and I are constantly picking up names from waiters and waitresses and people that we meet that just impress us, and we give them a compliment and just ask if we can share some information with them in the next couple of days. Just take down their information and then follow up with them. So add to a day, every day, to your database, and you will never, ever, ever run out of names. The last thing that I want to mention is the 10 in motion list. It also comes from LV Move, and this is a perfect next step off of your launch calls. It's the perfect next step off of the beginning of using your database. Is you find 10 people that have now said yes to hearing the information, and you track it. And if they end up moving into your follow-up in 30 days or follow-up in 6 weeks, then you put somebody else in your 10 in motion list. So that document is also available for you on the LV Move app. And if you haven't downloaded all of the documents off of LV Move, please do that. They are wonderful training tools. They're wonderful business building tools. And all of us want to make sure that we utilize everything that the company is giving us and that it's out there for us in network marketing education. The last thing that I want to mention before I close the call is tracking. It's not enough to just have a database. It's not enough to just have all of these names in a book, in a pad, wherever you have them. You have to have a system where you're tracking your interaction with these people, because as you've heard over and over again, the fortune's in the follow-up. But if you aren't managing your database and at least keeping track of your contacts with people, then you're going to lose the momentum that you're actually building. I use a notebook. I actually have a 10 in motion section that's in the front of my notebook, and each one of my 10 in motion people have a page. And then when they get moved, I can just flip them out of the front section and put them in the alphabetical section, put them in the follow-up in 30 days section, or wherever they belong. But if you don't track, guys, then you are going to end up repeating steps over and over again, and you're going to not call people because you couldn't remember what you said to them or when the last time was you talked to them. So make your database something that becomes alive and fluid. So I know I've packed a lot of information into 15 minutes, but I hope it's been valuable for you. And if you need any assistance with anything regarding your database, please feel free to contact me, and I will try to help you. Barbara?
Janice, thank you so much. Okay, everybody who needs to go, you are dismissed. Go on and finish up your Sunday evening. But I would like to allow anyone who has any questions the opportunity to ask those, and Janice or myself can answer those. But please do feel free to go. We know that there's a lot of time constraints on calls, so if you need to go, that's fine. If you want to ask a question, just press star, not pound, press star, and you can ask your question. But Janice, thank you so much for the incredible information. So does anyone have a question?
Yeah, hi Barbara, it's Lisa. How are you guys doing?
Hey Lisa, good.
Hey, Janice, great job. I wanted to ask you, within the LV Move app, I know that like it emails to the people that you put in there, how to tell your story, the databasing, but how can you do it? Where is it found where I can just see it myself, or are you just referring to it gets emailed to your new person when you put them in the LV Move app?
Well, if you're using, go ahead.
I would say, because the only thing I see for like the library are all the videos. I don't see exactly like the database documents and that kind of stuff in the Move app.
Barbara, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but in the LV Move app, there is a icon at the bottom that's called Contacts.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where, if you are populating that, I mean, if you're reaching out to people with LV Move, they get populated into that contact. That contact. But if you want to enter somebody in, then you just hit the contacts and the plus sign up in the right-hand corner, and you add them as a new contact.
I tell you what we're gonna do is we will, when I put the recording of this call in place, then I will add files that will give everybody on our Facebook page access to the files that Janice referred to. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Yeah, because I wasn't quite a separate section.
Yeah, we got a lot of moving parts going on here. Okay, any other questions?
We do. Thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I was actually working on the LV Move app before I got the notification on the call this evening from my upline, and I cannot find anything like a memory jogger or like list segmenter anywhere on this thing. And I'm wondering, am I looking in the wrong place?
We're gonna get it for you. We'll put it on the Facebook page.
But the quick answer to that is it's part of the training library. If you go through the training in LV Move for a distributor, that's where you find these things. And
And
that's
we'll-
what Barbara's going to give us access to.
Oh, we have so much to learn about LV Move. You know, guys, this is such a robust application. Don't let it intimidate you. There's lots of nooks and crannies in it. The basic framework is very, very, very easy to use, but there's a lot of depth to it. So finding these things, we'll just all have to get really good at it, and we're all going to help each other with that. And I can use the Facebook page for posting when I find it myself.
Okay, you can't tell me where that is just yet,
that sounds
right?
good. Yeah. Okay, we'll take one more question. Any other questions? Okay, everybody. Hey, make this an amazing week. Next week, Lisa, I believe Lisa Hinkie is on, and she's going to talk about the invite. It's going to be a great talk. Lots of great information. And Janice, thank you again so much. Everybody have an amazing week to your success, and just make it the best. We'll talk to you this time next week.
Thanks, Barbara.
Okay, thank you, Janice.
Thank you.